Good time zone, everyone. This is your naturally born hated Virgo speaking. Let's just take a moment, take a deep breath, embrace this moment of silence. Because it is time to get back to learning about toxic traits of Virgos. So we went over the following traits. We went over why they overthink and overanalyze, why they repress their anger, how this one difficult trait can lead up to everything else, culminating into one, or pretty much into subsets of toxic traits, why they barely ask for help, and of course, the zero patience. Funny story. Just yesterday, I've dealt with a situation where I felt like my patience was being tested. Um, Something about Virgos, they don't really like being, they're not really affectionate because they don't know how to show affection. So they have to learn from others. Some of them are pretty standoffish and kind of reserved with their emotions. So, you know, if you see a Virgo that's affectionate, whatnot, that's a mature Virgo. But Virgos, like, they really don't like being touched or, you know, constantly being said the same things over and over again. If you tell a Virgo once, that's it. But if you constantly keep hammering on a lesson or whatnot, they can get pretty annoyed rather quickly. Aaron the Dragon, welcome to my realm. Thank you for stopping by. Uh, So, yeah, I'm not sure how long. I'm tired, but it's good to see you. Yesterday I had over 80 plus views, not viewers, but it's a start. So just being consistent with the streaming and, willing to ask any questions that anyone has if they choose to ask any questions. So I may be going through this a little bit quickly because I do have an IRL meeting with my job. So let's go ahead and get started on why we push ourselves too hard. This one's really simple. So this lesson won't require Dr. Voitless or Nurse Ann for this because again, those characters are on vacation. Virgos push themselves so hard because people forced them to. The first time they're called lazy, the first time they're called insignificant, the first time they're told that they can't do it, the first time that they receive their first critique, their brain starts to race. When I was young, right? Um, I didn't receive my first critique, like serious critique. I was carefree, hard worker but carefree. It was easy for me to enjoy days. I was able to, just breeze through a lot of things. That's when I learned about homework when I was young. And ever since I learned about what homework was, ooh, how my brain went wild. That's when I started to really want to learn about a lot of things in this world. When I received my first F, it was considered my first failure. So I had to say, nope, I'm not going to receive any more Fs. So I work hard, hard, harder, harder, harder. When I received my first punishment ever from my family, I stated I will not be punished anymore. So I will come up with all these plans. It starts in the past. It's pretty simple enough. That's why we push ourselves so hard. We have this sense of accomplishment and pride. It's not like in an arrogant way, but it's in a way where we don't. Jevil, welcome to my realm. It's more of a way where we don't want to let anybody down. So we will work hard to prevent failure from happening. It can be anything. Aaron Levy, welcome to my realm. That's just the way we are. Um, a good example can be at a job where, you know, we are tasked with something and the one time we get written up we consider that a failure. So we try to come up with an elaborate plan so it doesn't happen again. We'll ask others, we'll talk about it. Toxic Virgos, of course, try to do it themselves, but seasoned Virgos will ask for help, you know, get clarification. They'll be calm with their emotions. If they date for the first time and they fail at that, they will come up with a plan to make sure that doesn't happen again. This will require the Virgo to need, much needed you know, therapy so they don't take it to the extreme. Virgos have a tendency to pretty much just go, 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 go because their brain's always going. People think that the best solution is medication. If you slow a Virgo down too much, quote unquote, they can become somewhat unproductive and lazy because their body and their mind is just way too tired because they was overthinking so much to the point where now they're relaxed. So now their body is naturally going to fight relaxing. So if you try to relax a Virgo without teaching them the proper way to relax first, it will do the exact opposite effect. It will actually make the symptoms worse and they will stress more after the effects of the medicine are gone. So what I usually do when my brain starts to race is I meditate. I take a deep breath and I just focus on what's happening now. Virgos have a bad habit of counting seconds and they will pretty much try to look back at things that happened in the past. So it's not really good, and that's something that Virgos struggle with forever. It's something I struggled with when I was young, where I would wake up and I would think about something that happened 5 minutes ago when I should just be staying in the present. It's due to their irrational fear of missing out on details. So they pretty much have to have some parts of their past or from yesterday or from 5 or 6 years ago so that way they don't forget to avoid being humiliated. I'm going to give you a good example. This is a really, really good example. I'm going to go on my Discord. So, for instance, when we're on Discord or whatever social media app is going to exist around these days, we pretty much have methods of making sure that we remember everything. Because if we don't, then we pretty much have this irrational fear that we're going to disappoint people, disappoint ourselves. It also helps us to be able to know why people are the way they are. So before we get frustrated saying, oh, this person is so ignorant, we have to use what we learned from the past. Our data. Cricks, welcome to my realm. And that is what causes us to pretty much stress. So if we have the notes right in front of us, or if we have mental notes, then we know, okay, this is why this person is smoking marijuana. It's due to help with their anxiety and stress. This is why this person is upset with me because blah, blah, blah. If we don't have that type of information, we'll race and our brain will start to race to a dangerous level. But seasoned Virgos will know to ignore a lot of these thoughts and only focus on what's important. So, like, for example, I woke up thinking that, okay, I'm going to get the yard done. I go outside to see that it rained. Brain starts to race. It's getting frustrated. Oh, blah, 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 blah. We haven't gotten this yard done fully. What's going on? We're going to get the old lawnmower taken care of. We're going to get the new lawnmower. Am I going to be in more debt? This is the type of stuff that Virgos think about. So if someone doesn't break this down for a Virgo, they will be stuck in this forever limbo. Some people unwisely let people be stuck in this limbo and then wonder why. When they talk to them, they're frustrated. Instead of breaking down saying, the plan is this. But if this plan doesn't work, here's the next step. When you do that to a Virgo, they work themselves less mentally. See, they work hard because their brain, all right? Because naturally they want information, they want to learn, they want to be better. So if they're not doing anything, then their brain really races because then they see themselves as lazy, insignificant. They feel like they're wasting their time. If you're not careful, toxic Virgos can start having dark thoughts. That's why you have to keep them busy doing something, whether it be cleaning, whether it be paperwork, whether it be they have to work a little bit more extra. If a Virgo says they want to go out and jog, let them go out and jog. Do not stop them. However, if it's bad weather, then you have to, break it down. Hey, I know you want to jog, but how about treadmill instead? You know, there's a slight better chance that if you want to really, really, like lose weight or gain more muscle, here's some exercise to do. Always keep a Virgo busy, but teach them to have time for fun. Virgos work hard because they do not want to disappoint others. They do not want to disappoint themselves. They want to do everything because they have this fear of their time being wasted. So that's why they will do other things. And if you pretty much tell them, "Oh, it's an obligation, it's mandatory," be very cautious because Virgos will take that to the extreme. They'll be like, "Okay, you told me I need to do this. I'm gonna do it." Virgos are the type of folks that will show up, doesn't matter what country, 30 minutes early. They will find something to do to keep themselves busy, to keep their anxiety intact. They will bring two, three books. They will, if they're an artist, they will draw nonstop. They will constantly think about whatever a vision that they have. Virgos will always keep themselves busy, season ones, so you don't ever have to worry about entertaining them. With with a child Virgo, yeah, because they're still learning. But an adult Virgo, a season one, is gonna always find something to do. You will find them reading, you will find them studying, you will find them the thumbs up. Welcome to my realm. And user 72525262662. Welcome to my realm. So, but a lot of this is mostly just due to trauma from the past. It's just a constant being told they're lazy, being told they're insignificant, being told that they're a loser, being told this. It just pushes a Virgo. See, Virgos follow the philosophy of every time you push me or hurt me, I laugh and smile at it because I want to do better. And that could be dangerous for a Virgo if they're not expressing how that moment made them feel. They'll brush it off and say, "Oh, that ain't no big deal. You said I was stupid. Oh, okay, no worries. I'm gonna show you." See, Virgos will show you with their actions. They're not stupid. They're not insignificant. They're not a loser. They're not this. So you have to be very, very wise. If you call them that stuff in their season, they're not gonna care. But if it's from someone that they truly care about and love, they're going to wonder, well, why they keep calling me this? Why they keep telling me this? So you have to slow it down with a Virgo. In other words, understand that they work on a schedule. They could be open, but they work on a schedule. And if something doesn't work, Mike Fell 73, welcome to my realm. It's good to see you. If you pretty much alter their schedule anyway, especially their sleep, oh no, that ain't good. So like if you tell them be up at 7 and you're not up at 7, Virgos are going to kind of start to panic just a little bit. An unseasoned Virgo would panic. A well-seasoned Virgo is going to move on and be like, okay, life happens. It's just how they're trained. The greatest power, welcome to my realm. So that's just the thing that's so dangerous about Virgos. They are their own greatest weapon, and they are also their own greatest contingency plan. They know how to build themselves up, and they know how to destroy themselves in an instant. So when speaking to a Virgo, you know, you just got to be, "Cody, how's it going?" You just have to be mindful of that. So, you know, if you don't kind of get it, find streamers whose birthdays are around August 26th to, um, you know, around September 20 something. I forgot, like 21st something. You're going to notice something, right? Or was it August 22nd? I can't remember. Rose123 smiling face. Welcome to my realm. You're going to notice um, how they act. And if you put a bunch of Virgos, Brody, welcome to my realm. When you put a bunch of Virgos in one spot, like a bunch of streamers, especially furry ones, they all will interact with one another. They'll give each other suggestions. They'll say, "Oh, yeah, I should do that." And they will just try all these different things um, because they are explorative creatures. They want that knowledge, they want that understanding. And if they can do something by themselves, oh boy, then they'll feel like, wow, I can do this. As long as I follow this method, I got it. And they'll just keep going and going and going. Then when they see that it didn't do so well, they get discouraged. Tyler Perry. That's why he makes his movies the way he does. It's not that he's hard headed and stubborn, which that could be the possibility. It's just that he's so determined. That's why he says work ethic. Because throughout his life he had to work, work, work. Christina, Boss and Deco, welcome to my round. So he doesn't believe that people understand his vision. Like he's smart enough to understand that this is how people make movies, but he wants to do it his way because he wants his legacy to be based off of his work. He feels like if he does it their way, it's not his work. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like something similar to what I said. What I say, well, if I do streams their way, I'll succeed, but it's not. I'm not going to succeed in the way that I want. Neko Desco, how you doing? Because some people they like to succeed, but they don't like to succeed in societal terms where it's too. See, if a Virgo succeeds too easily, they'll feel like something's wrong. They'll be like, wait a minute, this success is way too fast. Something's not right. And when they find that flaw, they'll stop. Hence, you'll hear Virgo say stuff like, I don't want to be a sellout, or I don't want to do it this way because it will destroy my reputation. You see what I mean? Virgos aren't, too worried about trying to be overly successful. Virgos are focused more on whether if their success is meaningful to their time and generation from generation. That's why Michael Jackson worked so hard because he didn't care about the money. It came with it. He was grateful that he was able to make money. This is someone that would have worked at an ice cream, as an ice cream parlor. He would have worked at an ice cream parlor. He would have, worked two jobs and did his music career. He would have done all of that to the bone until he died. Virgos are naturally hard workers, and they won't tell you how it makes them feel because they focus on the mission. Relax to the max. Welcome to my realm. Would be nice if Virgos could be like that. So it's just the way they are. If they see their yard isn't, perfectly done, they panic. If they see that people are arguing and there's no stop to it, they feel like they have a solution, and that solution doesn't work, they panic. So they work hard. They try to come up with solutions because they like their peace. They like waking up to a nice trim yard. They like waking up to everything being neat and organized. They like waking up to a company, treating people with respect and everyone just loving one another. They love tradition. They love honor. And if there's none of that, then they just continue to push themselves and figure out, well, what's going on. They will spend countless hours researching. These are the analysts, okay? These are the ones that will make sure that these are the coders, okay? These are the ones that will pinpoint every single detail. But don't get it twisted. Not every Virgo wants to do, the same things. They want to be different. They want to be unique. They drive off of that. So they're surrounded by people that do the same thing and nothing unique. They'll get bored. They'll feel like mission accomplished. I need something else. That's why customer service is good for them. That is, if they know how to keep their cool. That is why jobs where they feel fulfilled, where they are still recognized in a big way is something good. So that's why they'll go for positions like CEO, or, they'll be a comedian because they want to do something that helps people. And if you notice with every single Virgo, they always got to teach somebody something. Pay attention to Virgos. Like, seriously, NCP, welcome to my realm. They always got to teach somebody something. That's just their nature. Look at their birthdays, right? Notice how every Virgo, in a roundabout way, suit head, welcome to my realm. They always want to teach somebody something. You got Chris Tucker, Jack Black. Notice how Jack Black, even in the Minecraft movie, he has this moment where he wants to teach somebody. No, not a lot of other signs do this. They do it, but they do it in their own way. Virgos have to make sure that they have their moment to teach something, whether it be a harsh lesson, whether it be Kirby VRC, welcome to my realm, whether it be a harsh lesson, whether it be a lesson about that's just very soft. They'll want to add some emphasis to it because that's what Virgos do. Virgos will work the hardest out of every other person. They are the type of person that follow Christian Cage's, tagline. Work harder than everyone. Stuff and things underscore IRL. Welcome to my realm. That's just the way they are. They'll take what you teach them very seriously. These are the ones that will practice martial arts, day in, day out. And if they failed at one time, they will hold that failure to their heart, and they'll do like those montages, and they'll say, well, how can I work harder than that person? They can be competitive, but not in a way to show up a person, but in a way to show up themselves. They are always fighting and competing with themselves. They will have dreams, about how they can better themselves. A toxic Virgo is going to try to compete with everybody else till they're exhausted, while a seasoned Virgo is going to compete with themselves. And a well-seasoned Virgo is only going to tell themselves, "Hey, I take time." So, so now that we understand that Virgos are pretty much like those from Japan, China, and whatnot, except they beat themselves down a lot harder than them. And they have to learn how to accept failure and move on. This is especially bad when it comes to quote unquote social media. If a Virgo messages you, so like for example, I'm going to message someone on social media right now. I'm going to say, "Good time zone, everyone." And when that Virgo doesn't receive a response within 1 hour, I'm going to tell you the thoughts that a Virgo thinks. What's the point? I'm wasting my time. These people don't know me. What am I even doing here? I could be doing something else. I could be reading. You see what I mean? This is the type of stuff that goes on in a Virgo's head. So those that know people, right, that are Virgos, they better get in contact with that person immediately so it doesn't feel like their time is invalidated. Otherwise, that Virgo feels like I am literally surrounded by a bunch of people that could give a fuck less about me. This is how they think. This is how they think. This is how their brain goes. Who are these people? They don't care about me. It doesn't matter if I do any. They're not negative. They're just real. So they say stuff like, "Well, what's the point? I'm here. I'm talking, and no one bothers to even say hi back." It's not like I'm a difficult person. See how their brain just keeps going and going and going and going and going. There's no research. Well, maybe I need to say yo. Well, maybe I need to say sup. Well, maybe I need to just post a random meme. So what does the Virgo do when that doesn't work? Well, I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, no one said hi to them. So what they'll do is they'll go and find something funny. They'll say, "Okay, well, let me find something funny." This is why social media without guidance is not good for a Virgo, because their brain, it races their brain to such an extent, and they can't really handle it without someone guiding and helping them. It took me 10 years, and I'm still learning about social media to understand how this works. So this is why you won't find Virgos, right? Who won't be around social media. So they'll just do whatever. That's why you don't see them in social groups. Jail and Tag 45 and Swaggy Brown, welcome to my realm. But one thing about Virgos is that they're very stubborn. They're very consistent in a good way. And, you know, that's why if no one talks to them, they'll either shut down over time, not that moment, or they'll just move on. They like consistency. So if you date a Virgo, be consistent. If you're upset with them, let them know how long you're going to be upset with them so they can keep it moving. If you're someone that keeps them in secret, they're just going to leave you, okay? Nora Otta, welcome to my realm. They're either going to leave you or they're going to constantly figure out what did they do that was so wrong. That's why they push themselves hard. It's that failure. It's that breakup. It's being humiliated by their sensei. It's being humiliated by their teacher. It's it's not receiving that clarification. It's being yelled at by their parent when they were young. It's being told that they're stupid. It's being called a racial slur. And then they are going to figure out some way, somehow, what they did wrong. Through religion, through politics, through science, whatever it is they need to. They will figure it out. And then when they find out it's not them, oh, that's going to make them even more angry because of the fact that they're trying, and that person pretty much destroyed their character, which caused them to be unforgiving. People, just please be careful, all right? Be very careful. Joe, how's it going? Welcome to my realm. Just be very careful with Virgos, man, because they're not bad people. They just want clarification. You give them that immediate clarification, their brain slows down. I'm not, Virgos don't care about you if you're nice to them or not. They just want that respect. Brandon, welcome to my room. How you doing? They want that respect. They don't care if you're mean. They don't care all that stuff. As long as you respect them, that's all that matters. They just want that respect, right? Steel Husky, welcome to my realm. They just want that time to be validated. So, you know, that's just the way it is. So, like, for example, here's a good one. A toxic Virgo will look at someone else's stream and say, how is it that they have 100, 100 consecutive viewers and they're not talking about nothing? Versus, I'm trying to educate and they don't. Virgos will go on and think and try to figure out what are they doing wrong, because they always think something they did wrong. It's something they did wrong. Maybe they didn't have enough money. Maybe their social status. Maybe they need to communicate a certain way. That's just how they are, and that's why they work themselves to death. Liddy goes, welcome to my realm. Okay, so Virgos, first things first. This is tough, so I'm going to go ahead and say this so you understand this, okay, when you work yourself so hard. Zooks44, welcome to my realm. It's not your fault. Write that down. It's not your fault. Even if it is, it's a lesson. Virgos, it's not your fault. People don't see you. It's okay. But someone does. And you're being tested on how you react to each situation. Okay? So that's number one. If your brain starts going off about that, it's not your fault. If it was your fault, it's a lesson. What did you learn from it? How can you use that to educate those who are willing to listen? It's a lesson, not a punishment. Even if society treated it as a punishment, it's a lesson. Okay? All right? It's not your fault. That's number one. Number two, it's an experience. If you succeeded at everything that you did the first time, your life will be incredibly boring. The failure, the mistakes are part of the experience. If you didn't have any of that, you wouldn't be able to learn anything. So it's not your fault, and your experience, right, is based off of your mistakes. 3, find examples. Find examples of your own sign where they messed up. You can also find examples of anybody, not just of your own sign. But for the sake of just this little series, only of your sign for now. Then you may compare it to other signs. Because, see, you have to understand your own self first before you can start, Ed Side, welcome to my realm, before you can start venturing off to other folks of different signs. You can learn so much from others that are not of your sign and be lost if you don't ask for clarification and help, which is ironic because that's the next thing. Ask for help. Remember what I told you, but it's so hard to ask for help because I've been betrayed. Put your guard down. Yesterday, I had to put my guard down when, my mother and I almost got into it. It was not even that big of a deal. It was almost turned into that. But I told myself, put the guard down. She's trying to help. I had to tell myself, Ava, woke to her. I had to tell myself, put the guard down. She's trying to help. I had to talk to myself saying, no, she ain't belittling me. She's helping me. And before you know it, as I was listening, as I was also talking to myself, it was over. She was done. That's the lesson that we all need to know, okay? Because you gotta understand this one thing, okay? Trans, welcome to my realm, and thank you so much for the likes. Hope you have a good day. That's the lesson that we all need to know, okay? Because, listen to me when I say this. Listen to me. If you Virgos do not understand why you failed or understand why you make mistakes, you're going to destroy yourself. Again, today, I was supposed to be up cutting the grass, and that was it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It didn't happen that way. It just didn't. There's nothing to think about. Because here's the thing, Virgos. You're very smart and intelligent. If you've already been through this before, why put yourself through it now? If you already dealt with these similar people before, why put yourself through it again? Well, because I believe people change at their own pace. So if a person shows you they didn't care about you day one, then you just distance yourself for a bit. If you feel like that it's not going to work, cut them off. It's so easy. Well, I don't want to hurt them. Too late. I'm sorry. Every person on this planet has hurt somebody. You're not exempt. You're not exempt from dealing with making mistakes or making certain choices that may hurt others. You're not exempt from it. You just aren't. I'm sorry. You're not this hero that you envision yourself to be. No one is. They delusion themselves into thinking that they're heroes when they don't even want to take the responsibility of what it means to be a hero. Being a hero means that you gotta fuck up a lot of times before you get it right. Being a villain means you have to be so sick and tired of wanting to be good. But see, these TV shows, they try to break it down and make it seem like it's easy. It's not. Your experiences will determine which path you truly choose, or you just stay in the middle. You got to make choices. The election's a good example of this. I know you Virgos are probably thinking, why are people so ignorant? No, people made a choice. They chose who they wanted to choose, and they got what they got. It's just that simple. Yes, you should do your research when it comes to politics and religion, but at the same time, you got to understand that even after all that research, people are still going to be the way they are. They're still going to be hard headed, just like we can be. They're still going to be ignorant, just like we can be. And they're going to be stupid, just like we can be. Deal with it. I know that's going to be like, oh, my brain, my brain, my brain. You got to stop putting yourself in a position, making yourself feel like you have to know every single thing. Do it, but don't do it for others. Do it for you, do it for your future. Because not a lot of people care. Because they're not mentally there. You get what I'm saying? They're not all there. They're just not. Some people don't get it. Some people are silly. Some people don't understand why you have to cut some people off. You don't owe nobody nothing. They never done anything for you. It's just that simple. You don't owe them anything. You make the best decisions for you. You live with that decision and you keep on walking. Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but you stand by your decision. Don't backtrack because you know what you need to work on. Luna Husker, welcome to my realm. Husk, welcome to my realm. You gotta let people choose who they want to listen to, choose who they want to talk to, and choose who they want to deal with. And when they get sick and tired of certain people, they will run back to you because we are the elements of season of peace. Hey, Husk, you don't have to ask people how they're doing. If they won't even bother to ask you how you doing, why ask them? I know it's out of common courtesy, but if you want your respect, sometimes you just gotta be that cold. You don't owe anybody anything if they're not willing to even take the time to say hi to you. For example, if you get ignored, good. Now you know. How's everything going? I'm doing the best that I can. I have a meeting in 20 plus minutes, so I'm gonna, wrap the stream up around that time. I'm hanging in there. That's all I can say. I can't. Fluffy Fox Phantom, how are you doing? Welcome to my room. I can't lie and say that I'm doing fantastic, 'cause that's a damn lie. I'm just hanging in there. That's all I can say. Just just keeping myself together. Therapy's going good. Everything's going well. And last but not least, thank you so much for the like, Meepo. And last but not least, Virgos, before because I am looking at the time, stop setting everything on a schedule. You have to let your schedule be varied. Your life is not just based off a schedule. Your life is more than just trying to keep everything intact. Your life has to be more than that. Branch out a little bit. You say you're going to work out, good, work out, but kind of challenge yourself. Instead of 30 minutes, try 40 minutes. Just tell yourself, I'm going to do a little bit more or less that day. That's going to really help you to deal with disorder. You lived your life so orderly because people wanted you to live your life orderly. So try doing something a little bit different that's out of the norm. You eat ketchup on your burger, try mustard on your burger, unless you're allergic. You know, you ordered I don't know, a blueberry muffin, try a strawberry muffin. You gotta allow yourself to do something differently. Live a little dangerously, but not too dangerous. You know. Ooh, you play beat 'em ups. Try a puzzle game. Oh, you know Taekwondo? Try Jeet Kune Do. Get out of that perfectionist lifestyle. Get out of the fear of failure. Get out of, worrying about if people understand you or not. And you're going to live a lot happier. You're going to find the right people that actually care about you. People that follow you are going to follow you for you. They're not going to follow just to give you pity. They're going to follow you because they believe in you. That's how it should be. Help those that will help you back in the end. You won't be so stressed about pushing yourself if you had a team. You're going to deal with team that are not of Virgos, they're not like you, but are going to be different. They will listen to you, they will understand you. You listen to these people. Don't try to correct them. Let them learn from their mistakes. These are people that you're going to deal with that will, some will be stuck in their ways. But if you're the leader, you're going to have to be a little bit firm and stand your ground. And if it's too much, let them learn. We are good at letting people learn the hard way without even saying anything. So right now, Virgos, breathe with me. A little disorder is okay. If it wasn't for disorder, we wouldn't have the amazing cartoons, animes, and books that we have. Even books from Nobel Peace Prize winners have two ands. Not supposed to, but they do. Wrestling shows are disorderly. They never fully make sense. LA Knight should have been pushed, but he isn't. Jacob Taylor, welcome back to my realm. It is what it is. All you have to do is just focus on what you need to do. And let everyone else sit back in awe and wonder, wow. You got to let them learn. They don't get you. They don't understand you. That's okay. And that's fine. Let them figure figure out why. Let them figure out why you've moved on. And that's way you'll be able to push forward in life. You understand? Let them try to explain themselves to you. And don't you dare for 1 second. Thomas Andre, welcome to my realm. Don't you dare for 1 second feel any tension because you made your decision. Look at me, Virgo. You made your decision. It's time to move on. Because if you don't, it'll never end. They'll keep you guessing. They'll keep you wondering. If a person truly didn't understand you, don't go chasing after them. Don't try to think about why. Don't ask yourself, why didn't it go this way? Why is it that my mother and father keep... Maybe listen to your own thoughts and ask yourself, did they say that or am I saying that? Just let it go. Don't have multiple plans, all right? If being an instructor didn't work, what's my next plan? What's my next plan? And then ask for help. And the right people will guide you on what you need to do. It took me 10 years to finally find a job, right? That could go towards a career where I'm mostly loved and respected. Don't get me wrong, I was loved and respected on my jobs, especially with the daycare and everything. It's just that it takes time. Some people can do it faster than you. Guess what? That means that they're going to hurt more than you. You know why? Because they rush. These are people that say stuff like, oh, I'm not happy with my job. Oh, it's a job. But then you have you, the seasoned Virgo, right? Who's going to be happy and content. You'll have your moments because you waited. You were patient. Have you ever noticed some folks who succeed so fast and then they just back to where they were? So don't ever fall for numbers and whatnot. Don't fall for, oh, everything's working so well in their life for the past 20 years. Because there's a crack there. There's always a crack. I've seen it. And people will make you feel like what you're doing is a waste of time. Well, I don't think that. Because people simply just don't understand us. But you, fellow Virgos, if met with the right people, are going to change and help Virgos. See, you thought I was going to say change the world. No. World's never going to change. World's never going to get better. It can't be. Think about it, Virgos. All the people that are so intelligent and everyone looks at high regards, but yet, do you not see the pattern? We see the patterns. We unfortunately just got to let people catch up to us. We're above them when it comes to seeing not only the greatest version of this world, but also the worst version. Let them figure it out. I had to do it, and trust me, it hurted. People tell me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're just hard. You're just lazy. You just don't want to go to the grocery store. And then breaking news, there was a shooting at this area. They'll never listen to us. They never will. Because they don't ever heed the warnings that we learn from others. Because they have to be the ones to know it all first. Especially Geminis. That's just how they are. But Virgos, you can smile bright knowing that y'all are good listeners, which means you're able to catch on a lot quicker than others. You're not perfect, but you do have a purpose. So don't ever be discouraged just because your plan didn't work. Because there is a plan for you. And if you are patient enough, you will be able to have your time to shine. And when it happens, it's going to be beautiful. But you could rush like everybody else and end up dead, abandoned, a drug addict, a prostitute. It's up to you. Or you can wait, learn, let people teach you, show you your faults, your errors, so you can blossom. Why do you have to succeed so fast? As long as you got a roof over your head, money, you're saving money, you're spending less, then your plan is going to work. But your plan is going to be transferred into another true vision. So stop working yourself so hard. Yes, continue to educate yourself. Yes, continue to learn from it. But stop taking offense. Once you said what you have to say, move on. Now, I just helped you to stop yourself from crashing and burning, from overworking yourself. Let people call you a failure. Let people say that you're terrible. Let people say that you're awful. Let people say that you are just this abomination. Now, the rest is up to you. That's right, Virgo. You have to tell yourself to be quiet. You have to tell yourself that this is just life. You, yes, you have to make the best of your life because no one can do it for you. It's not that they can't, it's just after you're helped so much, you got to do it yourself. And it's going to be scary. You're going to have your panic attacks. You're going to have your moments where your brain's racing. But once you get it, you'll never let it happen again. Any questions? I told you this was going to be pretty short. Tune in to the next stream and we will learn about why we help people and why we care and how it is one of our biggest downfalls. And because we just don't know how to do it properly at times. Dusty, welcome to my realm, and you made it towards the end. Actually, I got 2 more minutes. Because it's not that we are stupid. We just care too much. So I just sent a hello to everyone, no response. So guess what my brain is telling me to do? It is telling me to move on. See, because I look at it like I'm wasting my time. That is something I have to work on so I don't feel that way. We're not those that go by emotion. We go by logic. We ask ourselves, is this logical to our feelings, or are the feelings equated to our logic? See, the term is R when it should be global. The logic. John Doe, welcome to my realm. You just made it towards the end of my stream. Any questions? I shall ask again. Virgos, take a deep breath. And this concludes toxic trait number 6. So Virgos, how you feeling so far? You've learned how to stop overthinking, overanalyzing by allowing imperfection. To talk it out, to write it out, immediately state what's going on with you. The dangers of not destroying this immediately. When to ask for help, which should be always, even if it annoys people. How to have more patience than ever, to allow stupidity and ignorance in your life, and to speak up and set boundaries. Not too many. And now you understand the dangers of working too hard. I went from reading 70 plus psychology articles to just one or two, and just embracing what I've learned from there. And remember from yesterday, from what the instructor stated at my job, that's what I learned from him. You can call me whatever you like. I know who I am. I will let you know that I'm not like that, to show respect. However, you might as well call me a frying pan or anything else because I know what I am. I only have to say go off to your favorite streamer because you already are doing that. You already have your mind set and ready to go. So whether you chose to stay or listen is completely up to you. And it's perfectly fine. Hydrate. Do take care of yourselves. And we're just going to go have a moment of silence for those who passed away today. May their souls rest in peace. And speaking of peace, I'm going to go take a nap. This is your naturally born hated Virgo speaking. And I am going to embrace the imperfection of this world.